Alright, we just got back from picking up my buddy's Nova. Made a little video of us picking it up. It's pretty good. We just sat back and talked about future plans for his ride. He will be in our group, and it's just going to take time. I mean, it's a bad ride though, and they've done a lot of work to it. And so I'll put the video in right now.
About an inch and a half to 2 inches by itself, just putting a smaller wheel in the front with a little lower tire.
How tall is that tire right there, do you know?
I don't. Yeah,
So we're here to pick up my buddy's Nova right now.
I ain't no money anymore.
No.
But I was on the way here, it's like, man, the wall don't even want to fold. Now it's like, man.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go with too much shorter of a tire in the front because it's going to affect your rollout. You could go probably an inch
Shorter.
smaller,
Yep.
but it's only going to drop you a half inch.
Because now that you put that taller, you know, you got it set up so I can lower the ass in a couple more inches. I want to be able to get that front end a little further down. It just sucks because there's like no travel right now. I mean, what is there, like an inch and a half of travel and no shocks the way they sit?
Yep. I see that. And it ain't even got the motor on it yet.
It's stiff though. I mean, it's like really stiff.
Yeah, this, probably after you get your motor in, it'll have like 3 inches to travel up, which isn't actually terrible. It won't have very much down though. It'll have about an inch down. So if you have a big heavy motor in it, it's liable to wanna, if you hit a pothole or something, thump the front end a little bit.
Or come down off a wheelie and fucking bottom out.
Well, those springs, I mean, they're, when I ordered the front end, they're like, you put in a small block or a big block. So those are
Big block springs. Yep.
So they're a little stiffer.
Another thing I was gonna tell you is, it wouldn't hurt to put a gusset off of these.
He just had all the
Yeah,
sheet
I was
metal
thinking
work
about
done.
that. Was he gonna do that, or maybe put one kind of whip
So
up
we're
the top or something? I was
bigging
thinking about
it
that,
up.
but you know what? I think I'm gonna have to cut. I think I'm gonna have to cut those out. 'Cause I think I might have to raise the motor up just a little bit so I can get my drive shaft angle right. You know, with my lowering it more in the back. I don't want to have a funky drive shaft angle.
Like I say, you can actually just do that by raising the back of the tranny up too, if you need to.
Changing the angle of the. Well, I'm gonna have solid mounts, so I won't.
In the rear.
No, on the motor, so.
You should be able to pick the back of it up. Just
Yeah, a little bit.
Rear tranny mount. You
Just
might have to
change
redo it a little.
So
bit.
it's like 0 to 5 degrees is where you want the angle of the motor.
It really depends on.
So I think the way those are set, he set it at I think like 2 degrees. It's either 2 or 3 degrees. You know, kind of a back sweep is the way he welded those mounts in for the big block. Because I'm gonna have to cut those tabs off the frame connector because those tabs are for a Turbo 400. Either that or I might have to plate the cross member or something to figure that out because I'm putting a Turbo 350 in there. So I got to figure that out anyway. So I was thinking, it's like, well, since I have to cut those tabs off, you know, I don't know how the drive shaft's gonna look, but yeah, but like if I could just raise the back of the tranny, as long as it's not, you know,
Let's get it.
affecting
Let's get it in there and see what it looks
Yeah.
like.
Mm-hmm.
That's the next step.
Like I say, we've been building some street racing cars, and we've actually been taking and putting the back of the motor up 2 degrees because it puts more pressure on the ass end.
Yep. Yeah, when it launches.
Huh.
Forever, we set them down 2 to 3 degrees in the rear.
Yep. Times
But
have
over-
changed.
But
Radio
overall,
car.
I mean, so if you raise it 2 degrees, how does that? Where
Just-
does that leave the overall angle of the motor at the car sitting level?
Usually,
About level with the car.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Look, he had it for sale
By
at
the
one
time you
time.
account for your rate,
3,500 or when he
The
bought
front
it.
end's normally a little bit lower than the rear.
Hell yeah.
Let's
Well,
do
I
it.
appreciate it, man.
Is this when you bought it?
Yeah.
I was showing that 3,500. That's funny.
True SS. It's got
True
the 118
SS.
VIN tag.
Yes, sir.
I like the way you made those doors close too.
Yeah.
Nice and good before there, that one was hanging. That was this one was hanging, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. That's a lot better.
Let's see, Go Fast coming soon.
Yeah, once they get all my Christmas shopping and stuff out of the way.
Tax time. Malibu's coming here. White
Yeah.
one, for sure.
Yeah, once I get all Christmas is over, I've got a car. I've got some things that I'm trying to get rid of. I need to.
This is just a little shop that we ran into. My buddy knows. Let's check out this Nova wagon. Full resto. It's bad to the bone, dude. Long way to go, but it's getting there. Bodywork looks good though. And this little ride right here is tubbed.
They say they're OEM replacements, but they're not OEM, obviously. So.
All that's okay. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes you gotta do all that.
Yeah, Chevy over there, baby. Camaro. Yeah, I got two 79 Malibus, so.
79?
Yeah.
We just sandblasted one not too long ago.
Did you? I bought a big tire 79 Malibu from a guy who owned it 40 years, and it runs 650s turnkey for cheap.
So when are you gonna get a car? You probably don't even like cars. You work on them so much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one.
Dude,
I got 67 Camaro.
Nice.
where's it at?
It's in that enclosed trailer.
Yeah.
Set up for the strip?
Street strip car.
There you go.
LS?
Nah, small box Chevy.
Smart man.
400?
Yep.
Yeah.
What does it run?
It runs.
It runs.
It runs. Hey, you'll have to check us out on Facebook. Look up the Real Street 502. That's a group that got some bad motherfuckers that run around E-Town and shit that race on the street. Bridge runners and shit.
Real 502.
Yeah, Real Street 502. Hell yeah.
Takes so long to
It does, dude.
I don't know what's the deal with those tires, but when you put, one's taller than the other.
And
It's not
they're-
uncommon.
Yeah.
That, like, I had them both on, I thought my car was, I said, why is my car, all my shocks are all, you know,
The same.
adjusted, evened out and everything, but it's still set different. So I had the wheels off, and I set them up next to each other, and I put the exact amount of air pressure in each one, and one was about an inch taller than the other one. I was like, hell, that's why my car sits kind of weird in the back.
That's why when you get a new set of slicks, you're supposed to take them and put a straight line in them. Put a straight line on the floor and roll it until it goes to that straight line again, and then mark it off and do the same to the other tire.
To
Make
put
sure.
it overall,
Yep.
Mhm.
that makes sense. So if they're not, then what do you just change the tire pressure to even them out?
Sometimes if your car has a tendency to pull one way or the other,
Put the tall one on the other side, yeah.
which side you put the tire on.
Yep. Seen that.
If you do a lot of racing on shitty roads, you know, if you got a lot of crown on the road, a lot of times
Yeah.
you change
Mhm.
the tire out for that.
When you're going down the road, it's going straight.
Dude, I thought about making, I think crazy shit. About making like a little slide mechanism for your driver's seat, where you could slide it over more towards, you could, and
Side to side.
side to side, and same with the steering wheel. Put it to where you could, like
Get
maybe
closer
have
to the
like on
middle.
a chain drive or something, so you could move your column over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, more towards the center of the car. Like say if you're street racing, and you know if you're on the right side one time, you know you got the crown that goes this way, and the other side goes the opposite direction
Mhm.
for weight distribution.
Mhm.
It's like one racer sitting in the driver's side, the next racer sitting in the middle of the car.
He's sitting on his tongue.
Oh, it's exactly. It's just like a center console bass boat and shit, dude.
Yeah,
You know.
I mean you could do it because the actual steering shaft would it stay there. You could put like some kind of like a sprocket or something on it, run like a
Like I say,
tensioner.
the old Thunderbirds. I don't know if you've ever seen them. Like I think the 66, the 62s. When you open a door, the column itself will open too, and it slides over about 6 to 8 inches.
Really?
What are they?
Oh.
They're 14.5s by 32. I run a 29.5 by 11, so they're quite a bit bigger. And you said you got more room. Nice.
Oh, I see. Put some seam sealer back here. What? Do you know? I don't suppose you know like exactly how much room I have from the tire to the.
I think there's, right now, I think there's 5 inches, 6 inches.
Right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I could easily go another couple inches lower without worrying about.
Yep, I tried to lower it, but the brackets that you got don't match the rear end, so they're kind of maxed out with that bracket that you got.
Okay.
Can't you just do it by the ride height on the spring?
You can do.
Yeah, you
some
can.
of that too.
So I know I think I've got like 2 or 3 inches of thread on those.
Yep.
We could just back it out and adjust the
A little
shock to a
bit.
little lower.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's all in.
The rear shocks are so soft, dude. It's weird.
That's why the red car is.
The front ones, you can't move them at all, but the back ones are just like.
Like say you put the motor in it, you get some weight on it, it'll totally change.
Exactly.
You know, it gets it to the sweet spot of the spring instead of it being.
You gotta get everything in here and see what it says. Get your fuel cell in, your battery in, motor, transmission.
Like I say, when you get it all together, we can scale it out.
Yep.
And then we'll set up 4 minutes if you want.
Yeah, buddy. All right, let's get this thing rolled out. Let you get
Let's
back
do
to
it.
work, man.
Yeah.
We got too much of your time.
Is that yours? No. You didn't even have
No,
yours.
mine's back over there.
Okay. Nope. I guess we gotta take a short break while we get this on the trailer. All right, we're here. We're just gonna try to scan through here and look at all this shit that he's got going on up in this new ride. All this of this work. This car had no floors in it at all. So we are just checking it out. Badass ride.